Welcome back. So this is a reposting of a video because my mic decided to crap out on me. So we're going to go over the clean sweep auction wins, this time with audio. So all the deals I got that I'm going to show you were actually amazing deals. Far below what they were originally asking, with one exception, which they priced that too low to begin with. There was one lot that I lost my mind. I don't know what I was doing. I did not do a good job of checking comps and seeing what else was available, and way overbid. I mean, 2x what I could buy it for on eBay. However, when the package arrived from Clean Sweep, it turns out they couldn't find the item. So there was all the other items plus a check covering all of the expenses for that lot. So I ended up doing fairly well. If I make a mistake, I own up to it. I pay for it. But in this instance, it actually ended up in my favor. And so now everything else I show you was really fantastic deals. So starting off, we're going to have some unofficial scorecards. This will be a little shout out to George Diamond Yard Sports Cards. And this is actually two scorecards. First is Reds Dodgers. And obviously this is kind of partially filled out with the lineup adjusted. And obviously there's Jackie Robinson in the lineup. Next one is 1949 Cubs and Dodgers. And on this one, you have Robinson actually batting cleanup, Snyder third, Hodges way down the lineup, and Campanella actually batting last, which is crazy. So that was a nice two scorecard lot. Kind of staying along that theme, I've actually found this program, which is actually good for Pirates fans, for Steve Garvey collectors, even for Mike Schmidt collectors. This is the 1974 All-Star Game program and Press Pass. Nice picture of Clemente there. So Clemente collectors, Lou, hi. So obviously it was held in Pittsburgh. Garvey won the MVP. This was Schmidt's first All-Star Game. So nice little piece there. And something you don't see on publications anymore. Nice marble advertisement on the back. So that was number two. Next lot. Now this could stay in the PC, but I actually already have an autograph of this individual on a government postcard. That is Mel Allen. But really what makes this piece nice is a different autograph on it. This is from the Walter Camp Football Foundation Awards, and there's a college quarterback by the name of Doug Flutie who signed this cover. So Mel Allen up here as the MC for the event, Doug Flutie. There's some other autos here, but those are the two main ones. Again, picked it up for way less than what even they were originally asking for. It's a nice thing with clean sweep lots is they kind of show you on the tag what they were going to hopefully sell it for. And most of the time, they don't get that when they put stuff up for auction. So now we're going to go back to some scorecards before we get to some really interesting things. So this is a 1936 scorecard, Yankees and Tigers. Now 36, Greenberg got injured early in the season, missed the rest of the year, so he's not in the scorecard. However, if you look up top with the Yankees lineup, Joe DiMaggio followed by Lou Gehrig. So for what I paid, it's okay. I'll sell this one and get one with Greenberg in it. The last scorecard I have is from July 4th. I believe it's game one of 1940. And I just have to pull out the middle so you can see the box scores. This is Giants and Dodgers. Now, 1940, you have Pee Wee Reese as a rookie. But the real reason I got this was because it has Harry Danning in the lineup. This is when he took over as the starting catcher. So that's it for the scorecards. Get into some cards and photos. First card. All you Boston people, you probably hold this same opinion, but this man should be in the Hall of Fame. And a Boston legend, fan favorite, 1973 Topps rookie card, signed Dwight Evans. SGC slab, old school, but really nice condition card. Great bold signature on there. It's a very, very nice pickup. Someone I've been hoping to pick up for a while for the larger Jewish PC, the autographed PC, is someone that his cards usually go for quite the premium. But this is a 1976 Topps Lyle Alzado, signed in pen. Not the clearest signature, but it's there. And bear in mind, all these autographs, they come with JSA auction house letters. So authenticity generally isn't an issue, especially larger houses like Clean Sweep. Switching things up a bit, we have a 1920 Type 1 photo of Casey Stengel. Gotta love the old Type 1 photos. Little piece of baseball history here. First man to throw a no-hitter in the American League for the White Sox, Nixie Callahan, 1911 Type 1 photo. Rick Vintage Oddball Cards. You probably enjoy that one. Shout out to Miko on these next two. These are both 1936 R314 premiums. The first, Phillies catcher Earl Grace, signed. And next up, while not in a Phillies uniform, he did play for the Phillies, Dick Bartell. Again, 1936 premium, signed. I love these pre-war signatures and stuff. And once again, as I've said in a video, and as I said about a different player before, this man should be in the Hall of Fame. Career 349 hitter, Lefty O'Doul. Cut signature affixed to a postcard or an index card with a modern card on top from the Conlon collection. Now we're going to get some really, really interesting things. Kind of some surprising lots. I was able to win for a crazy cheap price. All right, so this came with the original envelope. If you notice in the corner, signed by Gus Mancuso. And the envelope corresponds with the full 2-page handwritten letter by Gus Mancuso, catcher for the New York Giants at the time, predecessor to Harry Danning. And when Danning didn't come back from the war, he took over again. Giants brought him back as their catcher. So the interesting thing with this letter is that it has direct baseball content. So he does talk about the pitchers he's caught. Dizzy Dean is named. Carl Hubbell is named. He also talks about, World Series play. He talks about the other catchers in the league that he holds in high esteem, such as Jimmy Wilson, Gabby Hartnett, Al Lopez, and Bill Dickey. These are all mentioned by name in this letter. Mancuso was a solid catcher, all-star catcher for the Giants and other teams, including the Phillies. And having a letter like that, you just don't see every day. So able to pick this up for really cheap. Be a great piece for someone to add to their collection. hint, hint. It will be available because it doesn't fit into my collection. All right, so the next kind of number of items, it was a larger lot of Phil Weintraub items. So Weintraub was Phillies, Giants. Actually started with the Giants, went to Phillies, went back to the Giants. Arnovich actually replaced him on the Phillies, and then they were both on the Giants in 1941, which is interesting. So it's a whole lot of different items. I think it's over a dozen autographs. And so, to my surprise, Weintraub autos go for a decent amount of money on eBay. Actually, sold ones go for a decent amount of money. The listed ones are even higher, which is nuts. But this entire lot, opening bid was $100. That's what I want it for. But when I got it, it did have a number of surprises in it. And we'll go through those at the end of this lot. But first off, you're just a basic postcard with an auto. Here you have a nice color postcard. Another color postcard. Another autographed postcard and a nice photo. Even more stuff. There's signed index card in the back, signed index card in the front, and then two more postcards. One there, one there. I got stuff falling all over the place now. Signed index card on the back. Signed Phillies postcard on the front. Type 1 image right here. Cut signature here. Keep in mind that type 1 photo because there's actually two prints made at the time. There's also this one, except this one is signed in fountain pen on the back. In a Phillies uniform, which is fantastic. So I pulled a few things out. 1952 government postcard filled out. Nice little note there. Another index card. A note written on a little message piece from Steinbrecher's Fine Shoes in Chicago, Illinois from 1968. Nice little letter there, signed. And now you get into some interesting photos. Kind of the least spectacular, if you will, is a nice Sporting News photo from 1944. Oops. And then you have him in uniform with Birmingham. So before his call-up, 1934. So it says, on the back, it says lefty Phil Weintraub, Birmingham outfielder to Giants, August 31st. International News photo. And then before I show you the last photo, so it came with an RMY write-up. And those of you that collect Type 1 photos in particular are very familiar with RMY. They are probably the premier auction house for Type 1 photos, Type 1 sports photos in particular. And so their authentication does count for something. For the photo I'm about to show you, this is the write-up that they did. First of all, they gave it an overall grade of a 9 out of 10. And then the detailed description, it says 1934 portrait photograph of up-and-coming star Phil Weintraub from the New York Giants in uniform. Stamped on the back by the International News and with the date as well. This is the only image of Weintraub we have ever handled. So I just find it absolutely fantastic that this photo had the RMY write-up on it. And on the back of this, it does have a little copy of newsprint, which states, for many years, the late John J. McGraw strived to develop a Jewish baseball star for the fans of the Bronx. Now that McGraw is gone, up comes Phil Weintraub from the Southern League to make a hit with the New York Giants followers. And again, it's stamped on the back, September 18th, 1934. So just a fantastic piece. So that was the entirety of the Phil Weintraub lot. For $100, you really can't go wrong with that. Next up, another PC player. This is a letter, not dated, but you can get an approximate date out of it, because on the bottom for this University of Texas, El Paso letterhead, it says 1966 NCAA basketball champions. So Cohen was a baseball coach at University of Texas, El Paso. So he did write a letter, and then he signed a very nice postcard. So 2 signatures, went for 1/5 of what they were asking for that when they were trying to sell it. So nice addition to the Cohen collection. And of course, I had to add an Arnovich auto. Except in this case, they actually had a lot of Arnovich autos. I won the majority of them. The ones I didn't win were team signed pieces, which also had Chuck Klein, which jacked the price way up. So I was able to win at least 4 autos. And the first one actually comes with an index card from his widow, sending someone a sample of his auto, which is cut from a check. So never seen that before. So really interesting piece, I think, especially since his wife didn't realize he played for the Giants and he never played for the Cubs. So again, interesting piece to add to the collection. The next one is a photo album, an autographed album page from 1940. It's 1940 Phillies. And pretty much right in the middle is Arnovich. And as I mentioned before, in the Weintraub lot, he was on the Phillies. And 1938, I believe he got called to service. He got drafted for compulsory service at the time. So Arnovich came in and took over his spot. So this is an album page from 1938. Lots of Phillies on the front. And most importantly, on the back, you have Leo Red Miller you've seen on a Greenberg piece I had. But right below him, you have Arnovich. And then toward the bottom, well, a couple down, you have Phil Weintraub right in the middle. And then you actually have Jimmy Wilson mentioned in Gus Mancuso's letter. So interesting album page I was able to get for the collection. And now the final piece. Now I'm going to reference the auction house letter of authenticity. It says circa, well, first of all, let's see. We have autographs include Hall of Famers Dizzy Dean, Bob Feller, and Ernie Lombardi. Other autographs are George Pickenpaw, Gowdy, Buck Herzog, Arnovich, Hallahan, T. Thomas, and both McCormick's. Now they think this is from a 1941 exhibition game. And yes, I'm being careful to hold this on the seams, not on the leather itself. But really nice ball. You Dizzy Dean down there. Hank Gowdy's right above him. Trying to make sure I get this squared away here. Ernie Lombardi, Bob Feller on that panel. McCormick, and Arnovich right in the middle of that panel. George Pickenpaw, right on the sweet spot. Just a fantastic baseball. The first baseball I have of Arnovich, and you really don't see a lot of baseballs of his. I don't think I've ever seen a single signed one, but I've seen a few baseballs here and there. This one was the right price. Fortunately, I bid a little bit. It did get scuffed in shipment, which I'm trying to deal with clean sweep on, but it was a great addition, and I really couldn't pass it up. Balls like that, and I think it could very well might be an exhibition, but I honestly, from 41, but honestly, I think it's probably a little bit later, and it's probably one of the military exhibition games, because I believe all of these guys served during World War II that are mentioned specifically in the cert. I know Arnovich went in 41, and so a lot of these other guys. So it's possible it might be some sort of military exhibition game. It might be just an exhibition game in 41. I don't know, because Arnovich generally wouldn't fit in there because he wasn't an all-star player, the same caliber that he had that all-star season in 39. By 41, he had gone from the Phillies to the Reds to the Giants. The Giants had high hopes for him to turn it around, but there was still some uncertainty there. So we'll just have to wait and, I'll have to dig a little bit more, but still an amazing piece either way. And I'm just happy to have an Arnovich baseball to add to the collection. So that was the haul with audio from Clean Sweep. And hopefully you enjoy this a little bit more than just silence with some pictures. So that's all I got for you this time around. And until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect. Don't let anybody, especially the market or YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating, whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more people will know, the more your collection will grow, the more people will know, the more fantastic friends you'll make. So I thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.